Welcome back to Carly's Calling, where I'm Carly and I'm trying to find my calling in life.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
Subscribe now.
Hey everyone, today I'm sharing with you an overnight oatmeal recipe that I made and I've been modifying throughout the past few months, and I finally got it to a point where I'd like to share it with all of you. I have a few different variations that I do with this recipe, but this is the one that I like the most. So I hope you enjoy it. As you can tell here, I am experimenting with tandem recording. This is something I did in university a lot, but with actual cameras, not a cell phone and an iPad, so bear with me. This is a new type of editing that I'm trying out. But the first ingredient is, of course, rolled oats. You can use any brand, but I'm using old-fashioned Quaker. And now I have some pure cocoa powder. This is Dutch process, high-quality cocoa powder. And I'm adding the cocoa powder to approximately 200 grams of oats. I will put the imperial and metric measurements in the description box. The cocoa powder smells really good, so I was just taking a whiff. And now I'm measuring out 30 grams, which is about 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And you can use more if you want, but it doesn't have a lot of calories because it's dark chocolate Dutch processed cocoa. You don't want sweetened cocoa powder, you want just the plain cocoa powder. Now I'm giving it a very good mix. I mixed for a very long time in this video, so enjoy the sound of oats and cocoa being mixed together. The next ingredient I'm using are dried cherries. Basically everything in this recipe is organic or vegan or halal, but it doesn't really matter if you use those types of ingredients or not. This is just what I have available to me here. These cherries, I originally used some cherries I bought from iHerb, but they ran out and I was able to find these at my local supermarket. They're a little expensive because they're individually packed, but I used 3, which is about 60 grams of dried cherries, and they give it a sweetness. If you want it to be more spread throughout your oatmeal, you can chop it into smaller pieces, but I like the way they rehydrate as a whole piece throughout the oatmeal, so you get little cherry chunks that kind of bleed the cherry juice into the surrounding areas. And now I'm giving it a really good mix because I don't want them to sink all to the bottom, so I mix them with some of the cocoa powder so they kind of float after you add the liquids. I am now adding a sweetener, which in this case I'm using agave. I've also used pure maple syrup and honey. I'm adding 30 milliliters or 2 tablespoons. Pure maple syrup is really expensive here, so is agave, but it's less expensive and you get more of a quantity compared to the pure maple syrup. I buy almost everything from Costco. I like using honey, but it does give it a different aftertaste, so I recommend if you were to make this, you really want the flavor of the cocoa to come out, and the coconut milk that I'm about to add. So avoid using strong flavored sweeteners. I have not tried it with a calorie-free sweetener yet, so if you do try out this recipe, please let me know. I really like this brand of coconut milk. It's really cheap. You can get it at Gyomusupa, and it's a Thai cocoa brand. They also make really good coconut almond milk that I buy as well. You can get one of those containers for 98 yen, which is less than $1, so I always buy a lot of them. They are super thick though if you leave them in cold temperatures. They completely solidify if you put them in the fridge, so I'm sure you can use canned coconut milk and it would have the same effect. Just make sure you mix it really well. And here I am squeezing the last good bits out of this container. This container is 250 milliliters of coconut milk. Now that I got it all out of the container, I gotta mix it really well. I don't want there to be any pockets of dry oats left in this container, so make sure you mix it really well, scoop all the sides, and if you have a spatula, it would be a good idea to scoop down the sides when you're done mixing it. So enjoy the sound of mixing oats. I look so focused there. It's kind of funny to watch in post. But now I'm adding some almond milk. Well, I added 250 milliliters of coconut milk, so I'm going to add the same in this Kirkland brand almond milk. The cool thing about this almond milk, even though I hate the flavor of it, it's super low calorie. So 250 milliliters is only about 40 calories. So I can use as much or as little as I want, and it really doesn't matter. This is to help it not be so thick because I have made it with just coconut milk and the oats were so thick that it was almost like unpleasant to eat, if that makes sense. Because I usually eat this overnight oatmeal cold, but you can also eat it warmed up as well. Just like before, we're going to mix it really well because we don't want to have thick pockets of coconut milk. We want the coconut milk and almond milk to mix together to make a homogeneous form of awesome cherry chocolate oats. With the final mixing, you can add some walnuts or any nuts that you like. I usually add walnuts, but I didn't this time. You can chop them or crush them with your hands. I like having various textures in my oatmeal. It makes it exciting to eat. You don't know what you'll get in each mouthful. Now I'm kind of showing it off. It'll be kind of like this consistency. If we didn't add the almond milk, it would be really thick right now. I almost spilled some there. And giving a little taste test. If it's good, chef's kiss, and we're done. Now we're gonna put the lid on it and stow it away in the fridge overnight, and it'll be ready to eat tomorrow morning. If you'd like to become part of the Carly's Calling Dream Team, just click the subscribe button and click the bell so you can get a notification when I post a new video. I'll see you next time. Bye!